Good afternoon, pilgrims. And you know who you are. You're either a pilgrim because you have not, or you are not a pilgrim because you have. In which case, you're a fucking zombie. All these movies, TV shows warned us about you, warned you about yourselves, and then the first opportunity you get, you just go out and become a zombie. And then tell everyone else they gotta become zombies too. The nurses should go on strike in Australia for being forced to vaccinate. The teachers should go on strike in Australia for having their wages cut by 30% if they're unvaccinated. We'll have to see if they're pilgrims or wannabe zombies. Because, those zombies will exert pressure. They want everyone else to be like them because otherwise they become terribly insecure about their beliefs. Thursday after Labor Day, beautiful sunny day. The sun is actually too hot. I'm like, I'm becoming a dried fruit out here on the patio. Someone has decided that this is a good idea. I don't know if you can see that. We're 110 feet in the air. Someone has a bowl and an inverted ball jar resting inside the bowl, sitting on the balcony railing. I don't know if you could hear me describe what that was, but that's white trash. Yeah. So, the effects of being around people who are of lower intelligence on a regular daily basis. I'm not being a snob about this. I'm just telling you, it's fucking lonely. I can't talk about anything with these people. I do. I'm very jovial and social, but it's lonely. Which is why, now that she's out, I get to actually talk to someone for massive amounts of time. Usually on Facebook, audio or video chat. Yeah, feels good. She has a giant intellect. She has more degrees than I can count. Let's see, master's degree, public health, a doctorate in Chinese medicine. I'm not going to go into what that means, but it's not just a regular LAC. Bachelor's in English, that's nice, being a writer. And an associate's degree in anatomy, that's 2 years of studying nothing but anatomy, cadavers, at the Osteopathic Medicine University in Kentucky. Kentucky's a weird place, Coal miners, hill people that are uneducated but have an extraordinary amount of intelligence and knowledge of plants and medicines and things of that nature. Inbreds, pot farmers, strange little pockets of osteopathic medicine, and the fucking Kentucky Derby, which I now boycott, of course. Cruelty to horses, to animals, to sentient beings. An opportunity to dress up in your finery and watch the practice of cruelty to sentient beings with large hind quarters to propel them forward at 35 to 40 miles per hour around turns. Pause for the Portland Speedway here. I live on the Portland Speedway. Anyhow, I want y'all to carry on and enjoy this month. I understand it's becoming fall and cooling down some places. Of course, not here. We live in the desert. We have 2 seasons, summer and winter, and summer has not ended. There's no spring, there's no fall, there's just summer and winter. It's about, I don't know, it's divided pretty evenly, I think, about 5 or 6 months of each. We'll see which one takes the lion's share this year. We got days in the 90s coming up this weekend. Probably turn out to have the hottest September on record. But the weather's boring. Football, they ruined football like they ruin everything else, but I'll watch it anyway. I'm a sports junkie, I admit. I have a lot of character defects like watching sports. I'm getting away from watching basketball. It looks like I'm just going to become a 2-sport guy. Football and baseball. And I'm still watching baseball. I ran into a guy yesterday who's also a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is like being a fan of what's the name of that Greek mythical character who rolls the ball, the stone. He rolls the stone all the way up the hill, only to have it, roll back down. Anyhow, that's what it's like to be a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're like basically a farm team trying to compete in the major leagues, the minor league team who somehow miraculously wound up in the major leagues. So they just develop players and then they trade them to other teams. They don't keep them because that would mean having to pay them salary, and the owner can't afford that because he's from West Virginia. And if you've ever been to West Virginia, you know what you're up against. It's kind of like this floor is kind of like, West Virginia out west. It's like the westest of the Virginias. Don't get me wrong. I've sold magazines there in Wheeling, door to door. Like in the movie American Honey. Watch it. You'll see what I did when I was a kid. Except I was under 18, and it was an all-boy crew. It wasn't over 18, maybe, and mixed male-female crew. But that's what I did in the summers. That's how I afforded to buy clothes to go to school, so I didn't look poor. I don't know why my family didn't have money. Oh, alcoholism. Borrowing money from those loan sharks that have become illegal, who would then put our stuff up for sale when they didn't collect on the loan. There'd be posters up on telephone poles announcing there was a sheriff's sale at our house. What? This Saturday? They gonna take my guitar? Are they gonna take my dog? Anyhow, I could have been a contender. I could have been someone. But my success, my inheritance is this blue sky. And, I have some books. Maybe no one ever fucking reads them, but, I read them. I read them to myself, holding it in my hand. So I have 2 now out in print, both trade size and hardcover. The third, I don't know if I'll ever put it out in trade size. We'll see. It's money, and it's money that doesn't come back to me. I just say goodbye to it. I guess it's a good investment for posterity. So I'll have to find someone to manage these accounts that, basically just Smashwords and Amazon. I could let a couple of the others go. I don't know if I've ever sold any books at Kobos, so it's hardly important. But I need someone to manage these other accounts, keep them going, in case someone someday wants to buy a book. Got to make sure those towers keep getting erected. The Tower of Babel, the Tower of Ted, the tower's monument to his erectile dysfunction and discovery that he's gay, which I got nothing against anyone being gay, but just gay and in the closet and taking everything out on us. He won't even water the goddamn trees in park blocks. Go walk amongst that wonderful foliage. You'll see how dry and brown and brittle the leaves on the lower branches are. And it hasn't rained here, as far as I know, since June, around the time of the Rose Festival. That's coming up on 3 months. I'm pretty sure we're setting records for drought in Portland, but they never talk about this stuff, They just keep it under the hat. Oh, yeah, I have to report this, and this is sad, too. This is really sad. And it had a profound effect on me. A day before yesterday, when I was leaving the building at about 8 p.m. I walked out, and there's a man lying on the sidewalk, appeared to be a houseless man, and I looked at him more closely and see if, hey, what's going on? It's not unusual for that to happen, for someone just to, pass out right in front of the building. And I looked at him, and there was no one home. There was blank, fixed, unmoving eyes staring back at me. He had left the planet. And there's a backstory behind that, which is even worse, which is filled with neglect. Shameless neglect of a situation that got out of hand. No fault of his. It kept escalating, and no one did anything. No one did anything. No one did anything, including the worthless Native American 30-something millennial woman who is the front desk monitor, security person, concierge, whatever, who just sits behind her desk, never leaves it, and has food brought to her, and talks on the phone and watches videos, and has her entourage stand around her, blocking her view outside. And, they talk and laugh and giggle like hyenas for hours on end. She does not any work whatsoever. Any kind of intervention on her part or on the part of anyone who lived here who saw what was going on probably would have saved his life. So here's a moment of silence for him. He was also a man of color. Move on, brother. I hope you're in a better place. Don't cling to this world. I am sorry this world had nothing for you and ignored you in your time of need when another man was assaulting you for no reason other than he was crazy, mean. Move on. Go to the better worlds, the brighter worlds. Be a bird. Take flight.